Hess is with us this morning. The other two county commissioners involved with other things, but it's good that you're able to come and be with us. And I know this is a big day for you because you are such a fan, I'll say, of the election process, and the fact that this is election day is a big day.
That's right. And every election is important. This is a local election. You know, your Republican and Democratic committee people are on the ballots every 4 years, and this is the year for that. And those are really the undergirdings of the party system, and you know, the parties are doing the very important work of educating voters and working on those kinds of things. So all elections are important. Of course, you have governor and lieutenant governor and many House races and congressional races, and we've got new congressional district lines. So it is a very important election today.
Yeah, and U.S. Senate is a part of the mix as well.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so all of that, and with that in mind, and all of the talk that there has been within the last, we can even break it down to 6 months, let alone a year.
Yeah.
But there are so many amazing election stories and angles to this particular primary election that it'll take a while to sort everything out and sort of look back and review. From a county commissioner standpoint, in Indiana County, taking a look at all the polling places, the voting machines ruling which recently came out,
Yes.
Indiana County is in pretty good stead right now, isn't it?
We are. We have the optical scan machines, and they produce a paper trail, so that's good. And even though they are aging, they're fully operational. They're secure. You rarely have a problem, even though they may jam once in a while. Mm-hmm. But our equipment is tested. It goes through a very strict set of operational protocols and a chain of custody. And there's a number of calibration things that happen. Every ballot is tested, every possible overvote, undervote, write-in kinds of votes. The ballots are all tested prior to delivering those machines out to the different polls. So it goes through a very strict and secure kind of a process to ensure that those machines are working and that they are secure.
With the ruling that is going to require all 67 Pennsylvania counties to have machines that produce a paper trail such as it is, and with Indiana County having already secured those and made a very, very substantial investment in order to make that happen, now the state is saying, okay, if you can't make that happen on your own, we're going to help you out. Is there any concern among the commissioners that, hey, we went out, it's sort of like we went out and paid for what we needed and we have it in place. Now you're going to give it to these people, you're going to give them money for it, that Indiana County is going to miss out on a share of that funding?
Yeah, I mean, with Help America Vote Act some years ago, that is the case. All the counties went through that process, and we decided with maybe 15 other counties decided on the optical scan arrangement. And you're right, it is the one that produces the arrangements that the state is requiring now. Well, and I wouldn't say requiring, but they're not exactly requiring, but the machines that you will need to use need to be certified, and it's the state that certifies them. Mm-hmm. So that is the issue. Yeah. But as far as it's going to be a substantial investment for many counties, and that money just isn't there at this point. It's hard to say how we'll fare in that, but it is something on our radar screen for sure.
Indiana County, of course, has to have a relationship with our state politicians, our state legislators, all of the lawmakers, and it's going to be a new slate in the 62nd district.
Yes.
That very, very strong relationship with the incumbent, Representative Reed, right now. New relationships will have to be forged as Indiana County will be getting a new representative in the 62nd district.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Primary process today will determine the Democratic nominee, the Republican nominee. In fall, we'll get that one. If you would, spend a couple of moments talking about how the county works with our lawmakers. I don't think a lot of people realize how closely you must work with our representatives in the General Assembly, Senate, and House.
That's right. It is a very close relationship. As county commissioners, we don't legislate, but we do administer the funding that comes from the federal government and the state government. So anything that has to do with children and youth, or our economic development, or planning, community planning, transportation improvements. We're looking at a new transportation improvement plan. And we work very closely with the state, with our PennDOT, and with federal dollars for that. I mean, just about everything that goes on in county government is a result of something that happened at the state level or the federal level. And so we do have those relationships, and they are, they obviously have different parties, but in the end, we are all working to deliver services for the residents of the county.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we have the 62nd district, but I also want to mention that we do have the 66th district and the 60th district, and also the 55th is part of Indiana County too. And all of those races are happening today as well.
Yeah, yeah. In the 60th, the 66th, and in the 55th, the incumbents are all running unopposed in the primary,
Right.
Which is such a shame, isn't it? I mean,
Well,
to have a race in November, I think is what's best politically, or from a general population standpoint.
every resident, every person wants to feel like they're part of their community, and you want to have representation. And it's just like anything, a competition makes things a little bit better.
Yeah, it makes it more. No, we've been talking about what I want to talk about, but we haven't talked about what you want to talk about. You were just telling me that there is a very significant service that will be happening today at Hilltop Baptist Church.
Yeah, it's the Peace Officers Memorial. It was started by President Kennedy, and it's just to remember, memorialize, and honor the those men and women who have fallen in the line of duty as a result of their police work. And so that's happening at Hilltop Baptist Church at 1:00. As I understand it, there will be a pretty large gathering. So that's what I know about that. And
Yeah.
I have never attended one, I'm sorry to say, but I understand that it's a very somber, but a celebration of lives as well. So it'll be a very special time.
Yeah. Pay tribute to those who have given their lives.
Exactly.
And also to those who do so every day. They put their lives on the line.
That's right. That's right. They're out there. They're working hard.
We are talking with Indiana County Commissioner Sherene Hess this morning. So from a county standpoint, what are some of the big issues that we need to be dealing with in the next month or 2 or 3?
Well, we continue to work on our economic development plans. We're working on educational kinds of things that relate to workforce development, and working towards providing facilities that can provide the educational needs for workforce development, for our career and technical schools, our Indiana County Technology Center. We're working on trying to find ways for the community college to be a bigger part of Indiana County. And our conservation district is looking at new facilities. They're expanding. There's a lot going on in that regard. And, we just continue to deliver very important services. Like I said, our children and youth and domestic relations, and our, ensuring that our courts are properly resourced. And there is a lot happening, and one good thing is and another thing that we constantly do is trying to turn over all the stones to find where we can save money. We're going to start a new energy savings project throughout the courthouse and the other facilities, and that will obviously help us and not only save money but save energy, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go back to one of the things you mentioned a couple of moments ago, workforce development. Where everybody's sitting on the edge of their proverbial seats here waiting for an announcement about Windy Ridge and hoping that particular job generator will be here.
We are.
and we just keep waiting for news of that. But at the same time, I think there's a little trepidation because we're not quite sure that we have people who can work in those sorts of jobs or in any of the other manufacturing jobs that are out there right now.
It's a concern.
I don't know that it's snuck up on us, but all of a sudden there seem to be opportunities in those types of fields, and attracting people who want to work in those fields, even though they're great paying jobs. They require work. They require physical labor, and some people just don't want to do it. There's
that, and I mean it requires skills too.
Yes.
You certainly, our technology center prepares our young folks to get out there and start working right away. But there are still many positions that need that extra level of skill. I think that we did take our eye off that ball some years ago, some decades ago, and de-invested in workforce development to some extent. And now we realize that we do need to put resources into that, and that's happening. I mean, our budget, our state budget, is focusing on increasing the resources for that. And I know locally, and every county commissioner that I talk to, that is one of their number one concerns. It's workforce development.
Yeah.
And I went to the job fair a couple of weeks ago, and it's astonishing, but every employer is practically desperate for
They're
people.
begging.
They are. And you see, wages are coming up a little bit, and that's a good thing, but they are really hurting.
Yeah.
And they're so good employers. You're not, this isn't minimum wage kind of things. These
No,
are
there's a
things,
great living to be made there.
Yeah, there really is. So, yeah, if you are looking for a job and you have had some challenges or barriers, come and talk with us. We have so many resources at our Career Link, and they will help you build your resume. They will help you with job interview skills. They'll help you connect to the things that you need if you're out there looking for a job, or looking to change your job too.
Sure.
There's lots of opportunities.
Some people might think I'm plugged into this job and this is my career and that's it, unaware that their skills apply to a whole different field that they've never considered.
Yeah. And that's the great thing about where we live is you have that choice, and there are opportunities.
She is County Commissioner Sherene Hess joining us here this morning. Just a couple of more moments. Anything on the County Commissioner's agenda for when they meet next week?
Next week.
Anything that you're looking ahead to, meetings?
Like I mentioned, most of the things that we're working on, our county parks, our Buttermilk Falls just won a nice award from the Western Pennsylvania Contractors Association for the improvements made to the Buttermilk Falls. So, and then that relates to tourism. This is National Tourism Week, and talk about economic development. We're constantly working on our outdoor recreation activities and pumping that up, and these are nice things that happen, and we're always looking at bringing groups and conferences into the our area, because that's a nice way for our businesses to realize some extra dollars too. Yeah. So lots of good things going on.
So we can very greedily say we need some of those outside dollars coming in.
We want the outside dollars. We do. And we have a lot to offer. It's a beautiful area. We have neighborly people. We have kind people. We have people who really just want to make it happen for Indiana County. So we've got great traditions, but we look to the future too. So we're happy.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood,
Yes.
and a pretty beautiful neighborhood. Sherene, thank you for coming in today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Todd. It's been a pleasure.
It is Indiana in the Morning. Why did you?